Hey guys, it is Thursday morning. Woke up a little bit early, petting the dogs. They've been pretty good dogs. A little bit barky, but not too barky. So yeah, I was planning on staying for a few days, but I'm gonna go back to Toronto tomorrow and help watch the nephews. So today's kind of the last full day in Brighton, even though I just got here. So that's alright. We're gonna make the most of it. I told Mom and Gary about my metal detector, and I was like, maybe it'd be nice to go to Presqu'île, do some detecting around the beach. And as we're driving in, we saw a neat bird. And yeah, we're going into the beachy area. There's a bunch of plants growing on the sand, which I don't remember it being like that since the last time I was here. It has been a while though. The beach is kind of wet and it's crawling with these birds, piping plovers perhaps? I don't know. But anyways, we were gonna go down to a bench that was close to the water, but there's water in the way. So we're kind of just hanging out in the upper area. And I'm busting out the metal detector. Now, I think I mentioned it before that I am using like these rechargeable 9-volt batteries, but if I didn't, I don't know if they're like working or whatever, because the battery meter, it looks empty. We did throw a dime on the ground and it was picking that up, so I guess the machine is working, but as we're going around on the beach, really not getting many beeps, so maybe there's just not a lot of metal on the beach. We did find a toy car. It was poking out of the sand, and honestly Gary saw it before I even went over it. So, not really a metal detecting find, but yeah. Anyways, we went over to this fenced off area to see what's going on. I guess they've got some birds nesting over there. There's a bunch of birders also looking in, probably trying to see the chicks. I couldn't see them from here, but you know, I'm good to just let the birds do their thing in that area. So, yeah, we walked over to the parking lot area. I was thinking, since there's nothing on the beach, maybe there'd actually be stuff in the parking lot area where people are like, digging in their pockets for their keys and stuff. And didn't really find much. There was a tent peg in the ground, and the detector wasn't picking that up for some reason. I did find a penny though, so that's something. Then we're going deeper into the park. Seems like there's some roadside construction stuff going on, which is a little bit odd. We weren't sure what the deal is with that. Couldn't find anything online about why they were digging that up. But we just headed over to a rocky area of the park, which I don't know about this area, like maybe people drop stuff in the gravel, but again, not really getting many beeps around. Not a lot of metal here, I guess. Or I'm like, are these batteries like just empty? I don't know. I have also been using the pinpointer, which has been cool since areas like here I was getting a consistent beep, but with the pinpointer I wasn't getting anything, so it must be kind of deep. But I don't have a proper shovel for digging in the grassy areas. You'd want to dig a solid plug so that you could get some depth and then search around with the pinpointer and then just put the plug of dirt back in so it wouldn't make a hole. But oh well. At the end of the detecting time, this is all the stuff I found. The penny, the best find, 2018 American penny. That's something. The machine's paying for itself. Anyways, we drove around the rest of the loop, the lighthouse loop, looking at all the construction stuff they got going on. We're speculating that maybe it was going to this pavilion, but I guess there's already power going here, and there's no construction around it, so we don't know. Maybe there's a campsite or something that's getting power, I don't know. Anyways, now we're doing some thrifting. Check it out, Brighton Treasures, I think it was called. And yeah, just looking at the stuff. Stuff is priced pretty cheap in here. So if you find something that you do like, it's like, I don't know, usually not more than a few dollars. Often 50 cents. And at the Twice as Nice, they were doing a half price day. Everything half price. But, you know, I gotta carry all this stuff home, so I am being kind of picky. Didn't really find anything. Over to Coburn at this thrift store. Again, some neat stuff. Pretty cheap options. And yeah, I mean, here's a rotary phone. Apparently those are kind of collectible for the nostalgia. I don't know. But yeah. We also drove over to Little Lake to have a look at the lake and gossip about some lake drama. That was fun. Anyways, we went back to their place, hung out for a bit. I'm eating some rotisserie chicken coleslaw kind of salad thing. You know, trying to stay on the diet while I'm here. And just relax for a while. Yeah, Mom's leg is, she's got like a leg injury from years ago. It's kind of bothering her. But she had a swim and stuff. And yeah, just kind of hanging out in the afternoon. Saw a bunch of seagulls in their front yard. They were eating Cheetos. Which I'm not sure where did all those Cheetos come from, but whatever. And we watched a bunch of Apothecary Diaries, which Mom seemed to be into. You know, I don't think Mom's usually an anime enjoyer, but this one was good. And yeah, just ate more chicken salad. Yeah. Later, guys.